Agnes Studios here, and today I will present to you one of my latest mocks and my first ever review on this channel, Bumblebee movie inspired Megatron. Here he is in his full glory, and I hope you can enjoy this video as there will be almost a full-length detail and articulation and comparison of Megatron. Now, let's start with the basics and start with the review. First off, let's start with the internal and external detail that you can slightly see throughout the body, such as the front. The front is really amazing, but not as amazing as the full body. The full body is really chunky and really big, and I do think it's really, really great. And though even the back is great as well. Even the spinal cord that you could see right here, that you can see literally right there. I had to adjust it a bit just so you can see it there. There it is with the Optimus Prime barrel right there. The back is really clean though, it's surprisingly, even though it has a spinal cord with a clean back, which is very odd as the front is very detailed. He has a interesting design skirt piece based off of the Bumblebee movie Megatron, just slightly a bit more stylized, and he does not have that front panel there. Now, let's go on to the details. I do think the details are really wonderful, especially the red pieces throughout the body. I really wanted to over-exaggerate the red in the Bumblebee movie Megatron. And that thing that I'm pointing to right there is just some random either insignia or just some random imprint. I really wanted you guys to see this beautiful design angles and everything, especially this nice little pointy piece and the front piece right there. He's really good, and the bucket head is amazing as well. He has these weird clear pieces though. The reason that is because he's based off of he's based off of the Hasbro design with the light piping. So the reason why it's clear is because it does have a translucent plastic piece that is just simply covered up. It simply just covers up the entire side of the bucket head, which if once I show you a closer look, you can understand. It's literally right there, and the bucket head is very nice. I took it originally based off of a knockoff of a Lego, and I decided why not implement it into this real one. And this does not use knockoff parts, I just saw it off of a video. And there's some internal detail of the neck, looking really cool and wonderful. Now, you can even see the arm detail, which is he has a pretty bulky arm, and the back is clean too. He has some nice side angles as well. The lower torso with these weird two piping pieces sticking out are really cool as well. They were a challenge to get on, as well as the legs. The legs are this very intricate and complex design that looks really complicated when you look at it. Until you start to look at it further, especially in the thigh area too. But it looks more simpler the more you start to look at it and the more you get used to it. So, just rotating it. I'm going to be rotating it for a few times. And here's the enjoyment of the spinal cord yet again. It is a bit more simpler like my previous old designs. And I think at a certain point, it is really amazing how much work I've put into this, especially in those back skirts, just being a simple design while also being very engineered. Even having a butt hinge to angle the back of the body. Just turning him almost a full 360, setting him aside. And that fell. There's a lot of falling camera angles, things that happen unintentionally throughout the video, as this is not cut. Now for the articulation, the head can go up and down, tilt side to side, and go all around. He has a slight extension, I guess you could say, that can go way more down, way more up, and tilt side to side, and you can lock it in when you're done articulating it, with the little pieces that get in the way because of the design. Now, the arm does have a brand new hinge that I decided to implement that I don't think I've seen anyone doing before, which, as you can see, as I'm trying to demonstrate, can literally go up without you having to use the main arm hinge, as it also helps with the broader, sleeker design while also giving him much more articulation, as you can hinge it at that, and if you slightly pull the arm out, you can get it to T-pose, or the arms to go out that far, which, if you angle them properly, you can get a full-on T-pose. Isn't that wonderful? And you can get higher as well. And it can go all around, and with the other hinge you can get a bit more. If you slightly extend the butterfly, the bicep, you can get a bicep swivel, which is very limited, however, and there's barely a 90-degree bend, some normal ball joint action, and it does have an extension joint due to the engineering of the hand. You can't just push it back in, and obvious individually articulated fingers, which are slightly longer than most of mine. Now, it does also have some slight swivel there too. This figure is very brittle, which is the main part that sucks about it. But you can easily just put it back in there. Now, let's go on to the lower torso and the rest. The articulation for the torso is limited while also being great because of the extension piece that you do have to be careful. There's barely any way swivel and there's no up. There's a small hinge flap that can make the legs can go out that far. If you move the butt flap, it can go backward that far, which is very limited. Ball joint, if you fix it out of the way, can go about forward that far, which is very, very limited. Barely a 90-degree bend, and there's a ball joint at the leg that can tilt side to side, and the up and down and rotation is very limited, as it nearly breaks on me during this video. So you can just notice it breaking. Now, it does have a swivel too at the thigh, putting all the plates back. Still adoring the detail here, as this has took at least 3 or 4 days, and as you can see, he break. So this thing took about 3 or 4 days, maybe longer, to build, and I am happy with the results. So now for the accessories, he does come with a chain and a small mace-inspired design, as well as his blaster. To implement it, it's not that hard. Just pull the bicep out, which is supposed to be designed like that. Now, when you pull the bicep out, make sure to pop the ball joint with the hinge extension piece out, as it will come off just like so. And you have to pry it out sometimes, just like that, because that arm is designed differently. And you just simply grab the chain and shove it through there, and there it is. Now, to put the mace one without the chain is really hard, because you have to extend that piece up there and shove those pieces right there. I can't implement it due to the time, but you just shove the peg piece there and you shove the arm in there. Then you get that weird angle thing with the mace. And you can just put it back, but make sure to remove that piece for the cannon. Now, when you put the cannon, make sure you angle it so that it doesn't knock into the shoulder. And just like that, you have the cannon. The cannon is really small because originally, as I said, he was supposed to be smaller, but due to some other Lego creations being taller, I had to make his height slightly taller to get that accurate size. Now, for the comparison, let's just bring out the Studio Series Bumblebee movie Ironhide and the Yellow Park, which can barely fit the frame. Now, let's go on to the review, or the rating. I rate this guy a 5 out of 10. He does have some limitations that really do limit this figure to its full potential. And I think if I were to do a tutorial, I think you should try it out if you have the pieces for it. But if you don't, I don't recommend getting any pieces for it, as it does have a lot of limitations that really does ruin this figure. The accessories are great. The detail's great. Some of the articulation is really, really good. But for the first review of the channel, I don't think it's bad. I think it's a really great start, especially for something really cool in this engineering process. And yes, I do have more to come. I don't really know if I will do tutorials, but this guy is great. And if you enjoy this video, I suggest you subscribe if you really want to see more, or just like on all that algorithm trash that they really want me doing and others.